You and Jungkook had been married for 4 months now. It was an arranged marriage set up by your families, particularly his mother, who saw you as the perfect match for her son. Your parents also believed this marriage would be ideal for you. However, from the very first day, Jungkook had been distant. He wasn't rude, but he wasn't warm either. He barely spoke to you unless necessary, and most of your conversations revolved around formalities. You tried to make things work, convincing yourself that perhaps he just needed time, but as days turned into weeks and months now, the coldness remained. You have no idea what was going on in his heart or mind. He never let you in. Still, you continued your efforts. At morning, you prepared his coffee just the way he liked, strong, no sugar. You carefully placed it on a tray and walked upstairs to hand it to him. As you pushed open the bedroom door, Jungkook was standing in front of the mirror, fixing his tie. Clearing your throat slightly, you stepped inside. "I made your coffee," you said softly, holding out the cup towards him. Jungkook barely spared you a glance before taking the cup from your hands. "Thanks," he muttered, his voice devoid of any warmth. You watched as he took a sip and then placed the cup on the nightstand before turning back to the mirror. The silence stretched between you. Wanting to break it, you tried again. "Do you have a busy schedule today?" He nodded, adjusting his wristwatch. "As usual." Your fingers fidgeted with the edge of your sweater. Jungkook, I was thinking maybe we could have dinner tonight together. Just us." Jungkook finally looked at you, but his gaze was unreadable. "Why?" "Because I thought we could spend some time together. We haven't really talked properly since our wedding." He let out a slow breath, as if he were contemplating your words, but instead of agreeing, he simply said, "I will be late tonight." Your shoulders dropped slightly. "Oh, okay." You swallowed the lump in your throat and forced a small smile. "Okay then, I should go downstairs," he mumbled before turning towards the door. You walked downstairs with a heavy heart, your chest tightening at the way Jungkook had responded to you. You let out a slow breath and thought maybe he wasn't used to talking. Maybe he just didn't know how to express himself. Jungkook wasn't necessarily cruel to you, but he was distant. Perhaps it wasn't intentional. Maybe he simply didn't know how to interact with someone like this. You had seen him in business meetings, in interviews. He was composed, professional, and straight to the point. Maybe he was the same in his personal life too. Convincing yourself of that, you pushed those thoughts aside and you set the dining table with dishes, toast, eggs, fruit, and a bowl of warm soup, just the way his mother once mentioned he liked. "Eat well," you said softly, taking a step back after serving him breakfast. Jungkook didn't respond. He simply picked up his spoon and started eating. You sat across from him, quietly watching as he ate. Halfway through his meal, you finally gathered the courage to speak. Do you like the food?" Jungkook didn't look up and said, Even though it stung a little, you forced a small smile. A few more minutes passed in silence, then as he finished his last bite, he placed his spoon down and reached for the napkin, dabbing his lips lightly before pushing his chair back. You immediately stood up, walking over to pick up his bag, something you had started doing as a habit. He never asked you to, but you still did it every morning. Handing the bag to him, you whispered, "Here." Jungkook took it from your hands, his fingers brushing against yours for a mere second before he straightened his posture. He adjusted the strap on his shoulder and then finally spoke, "I'll be late today, don't wait for me." Your chest felt hollow at his words, but you nodded. "Okay." Without another glance, he turned and walked towards the door. You followed him with your eyes as he reached for the handle, opened the door, and stepped out. The sound of his footsteps echoed for a moment before the door clicked shut, leaving you alone in the silent house. You stood there for a long moment, staring at the door as an unspoken ache settled in your heart. 4 months, and he still treated you like you were invisible. At evening, even though Jungkook had told you not to wait for him, you still did. Dinner felt lonely when you ate by yourself, so you had pushed your plate away after taking only a few bites. You quickly stood up and approached him. Without a word, you took his bag from his hands and set it aside before hurrying to the kitchen. You returned with a glass of water and handed it to him. He took it and drank, his Adam's apple bobbing with each gulp. When he finished, he placed the glass on the table and looked at you, his expression unreadable. Then in a low voice, he said, "I told you not to wait for me." You swallowed nervously. "I know, but I just..." "Then why did you?" "Because I always do." Jungkook exhaled heavily, rubbing his temples. "You don't have to." Silence stretched between you both. You shifted on your feet before hesitantly asking, "Did you eat?" He shook his head. "I'm not in the mood to eat." "You should have something." "Why? I said I'm not willing to eat." He snapped, his voice edged with frustration. You flinched slightly at his tone. He rarely raised his voice at you, but tonight he seemed completely drained. Something must have happened. Instead of arguing, you simply nodded. "Okay." Jungkook exhaled again, rubbing the back of his neck. Without another word, he turned and started walking upstairs. After a moment of hesitation, you followed him. When you entered the bedroom, Jungkook was nowhere to be seen. The sound of running water from the washroom told you he was freshening up. You watched him for a few moments, your concern growing stronger. You want to comfort him, and then before you could stop yourself, you got up and walked towards him. Slowly, cautiously, you wrapped your arms around his waist from behind, pressing your cheek against his back. For a second, everything was still, then Jungkook tensed, his entire body stiffened under your touch. Ryan, what the hell are you doing? His sharp, furious voice cut through the silence like a knife. You immediately pulled away, shocked by the intensity of his reaction. Your eyes widened as he turned around to face you, his jaw clenched, his dark eyes burning with frustration. I was just what? He snapped. What do you think you are doing? Your heart pounded in your chest. I thought something was wrong. You looked so frustrated, so tired. I just wanted to comfort you. Jungkook let out a humorless laugh, running a hand through his hair. Comfort me? He repeated bitterly. Ryan, I don't need your comfort. Your breath hitched. I didn't ask for this. I didn't even ask for you. You took a step back, your fingers curling into fist. I know you didn't ask for me, but I want to. He exhaled harshly. I don't need it. You swallowed the lump in your throat, trying to blink back the sting in your eyes. Why are you acting like this? Jungkook didn't answer. Instead, he looked away, running a hand down his face in frustration. You took another deep breath before speaking again, softer this time. Did something happen at work? He clenched his jaw. Ryan, just leave it. But just leave me alone. Then without another word, you turned around and walked to the bed. You climbed in, pulling the blanket over yourself, your back facing him. As you lay there, staring at the wall, you realized something. Maybe it was time for you to stop trying too. You had tried to be a good wife, to break through his cold walls, to make this marriage feel like something more than just an arrangement. But it was pointless. So from this moment on, you decided you would no longer talk to him and wanted to avoid him. If he didn't need you, then you wouldn't force yourself into his life.